Criticism for your everyday life. Just relax and take it. She had too much info in her presentation. Maybe try this instead. I saw several things wrong with your paper. Criticism, as defined by Webster's Dictionary, is a noun meaning the act of passing judgment as to the merits of anything. We see criticism in our everyday lives in almost everything we do. This article suggests that maybe we should view criticism as a gift rather than a curse. And true, it's probably not wrapped up nice and pretty with a bow and sitting under our Christmas trees, but it does provide us with a whole slew of information to help us be better people. The article gives us a few reasons on why criticism is not as bad as it seems. First, we have the sandwich effect. This is when you put a negative thing in between two positive things. This way, you start the conversation on a good note and you end it on a good note with no hard feelings between either party. Secondly, it promotes growth between you and the person giving the criticism, helps grow your relationship and make you both better as far as how you operate with each other. Lastly, and most importantly, it allows you to see how to do things differently in the future. Whether you were wrong or right, you have some very helpful information to use on further days. As previously mentioned, we get criticism from all areas of our life. First up, you have teachers or professors at your college, university, high school, wherever you may have matriculated through education. These individuals are paid by people to tell you what to do and teach you new information, so it's probably a good idea to listen to them. Also, they usually possess a master's degree or a PhD in their field, which means they're probably a lot better at it than you are, so their information is valuable and helpful. Also, companies make a habit of sitting their employees down for employee performance evaluations. You'll sit with your manager or immediate supervisor and discuss the things that you're doing well and the things that you could stand to do a little better with. And they do this for you so that you can be a better employee and perhaps advance your chances in the company. Finally, in the academic community, most scholars, before putting out any type of new advice or articles or findings or communications, they always put their information to a group of their peers before it gets published. This way, even the smart people are checked and rechecked by other smart people. So don't feel that you're alone in being criticized. So you've got some criticism. What do you do with it? First of all, you want to be courteous. Never be defensive. It makes you look bad and it makes the other person uncomfortable, and then will cause them to also be defensive of their opinion. And then you just have two things going back and forth and not making any progress. Second, you want to realize that perhaps you got it wrong. It's very possible that maybe you didn't do it correctly, and they have some insightful information for you that can help you do it better in the future. Thirdly, you want to ask questions. What did you do wrong? What should you do better? This way you can know more for the future. Fourth, remember that everyone has different expectations. You can't please everyone. So there's always going to be the one person who thinks you did it wrong when you're pretty certain that you did it right. Take it like a grain of salt and keep moving. Finally, be appreciative. Just like we said in the beginning, criticism is actually a gift rather than a curse. So take it for what it is and keep it locked up in your brain for future use. I think you can do better than him. I think you might be gaining a little weight. Our biggest and sometimes harshest critics can be those closest to us, our friends, parents, boyfriends, girlfriends, and things of that nature. It's important that we remember that their opinions are also valuable, and the criticisms that they give us are usually coming from a good place. They're not trying to make us feel bad about ourselves or what we're doing. In their minds, they're just looking out for us. So it's important that we take those into account and see them for what they are. Always know the person, know their motives, know who they are to you. If it's a boyfriend or a girlfriend, husband or wife, chances are they're saying it because they love you and they want things to be better for you and for the two of you as a unit. If it's coming from a parent, parents always go on experience. They feel like they know and they've been there before. So if they're telling you something about what you're doing in your life, they're probably saying it because they were doing the same thing themselves at some point in the past, and they don't want you to make the same mistakes that they made. So remember, when your friends and family tell you things, it comes from a good spot, and take it like a grain of salt and keep on moving. So what can I do about criticism in the future? There's 4 things I can tell you. Be an active listener. Whenever someone is giving you some sort of criticism, always make sure that you are truly listening to them and not just hearing what they're saying. This way you can understand it and keep it logged for the future. Also, you want to ask the right questions to make sure you solve the problem. If you don't know where the problem started or where you did it wrong, you won't be able to fix it in the future. Thirdly, Own the course of your change. If you don't think that you did anything wrong or you think that the way you've been doing things is okay, then that's all right too. Just kind of adjust your plan to fit maybe a little bit of the criticism and a little bit of what you already did. Maybe the two put together was just the right mixture. Finally, seek out new criticism, especially when it comes to your career. Employers love to meet employees that are coachable, so you want to be able to ask for new advice, new things that you're doing right or wrong. That way they know you're interested and invested in your job. If I can leave you with a final thought, it's this quote by Frank Clark. It says, criticism, like rain, should be gentle enough to nourish a man's growth without destroying his roots. So basically, when you're criticizing someone, whether it's constructive or otherwise, you always want to make sure that you're giving them just enough to help them grow, but not take away any part of who they actually might be. You never want to crush anyone's spirit or make them feel like they did it so terribly wrong and that makes them a horrible person. Give them just a good ounce of encouragement to keep them moving forward.